All right, hi, and welcome to another success story. Today I have Matthew. Hi, Matthew.
Morning, Stephen. Well, it's morning here.
Yes, and afternoon here. One of the great things about these conversations is it's from people all over the world. I'm in the UK. Where are you, Matthew?
I'm in Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
Wow, look at that.
Montreal.
The reason I had Matthew on is because when we did a coaching session, he said so many things I thought other people would love to hear. So I'm going to start with a really broad question, which I ask everybody is, why did you become a carnivore?
I guess that stems, I'm 45 now. So in my early 20s, I always had a weight issue. I was never a small kid. So I remember going into grade 5, and I'd have to be brought into another room to get the larger sizes. I wasn't an obese child, just a heavyweight, little chunky kid. So all my life I've had sort of weight issues, and into my 20s, I decided I came across the Atkins diet, how I could eat whatever quantity of the right foods I want and actually lose weight. Followed it pretty strict, lost a good amount of weight. I'm like, wow, this is genius. I mean, Atkins bars, this, that, all the junk that went along with it. So there was always substitutes for bread, for a lot of other things. Eventually you have a cheat meal, and then the frequency of the cheat meals gets closer together, and you end up falling off the wagon and putting back the 20 pounds or so that you put on. And I did this off and on for the better part of 15 years, mostly trying different variations of keto, going very strict, going lazy keto with, you end up slipping into all the low carb alternatives, which are all garbage in my opinion. And again, you end up having a cheat meal that's good for a couple of weeks, and then you say, oh well, I survived that cheat meal. I'm gonna have another one, and then they get closer together, and then you're 20 pounds back. And I found on keto, I lost 15, 20 pounds rather easily, but there was always a blockage after that, and it was next to impossible to take it to the next level. Fast forward to this past year, and I came across Judy Cho's Carnivore Cure book. I read it cover to cover. It was such a good read. And I just never thought of, I thought carnivore was just fringe, that's extreme. I don't think anyone could do this. It goes against every fiber of what we're taught all our lives, is avoid red meat, avoid fats. Keto sort of introduced the healthy fat trend, which is more accepted, but just to go full meat and leave out vegetables was something that I could get behind. So I read the book. She outlines a lot of the reasons why vegetables aren't essential for humans to thrive nutritionally. And so I started. I gave it a whirl, and to be honest, the first, I'd say 30 to 60 days, I wasn't, it was okay. I actually put on a little bit of weight. I'm like, okay, maybe. And I had read as well that a slight weight gain in the first little while is pretty common. I'm on the mighty networks there with Steak and Butter Gal and everything. So I read a lot of people's stories and everything. And I wasn't really feeling all that amazing compared to the ketogenic diet. So I actually did transition, just to backtrack, from a ketogenic diet into strict carnivore. So I guess the process was a lot easier than most, coming from an SAD to right into carnivore. So my transition was a lot easier. I didn't get keto flu or any of that stuff. I just felt that I wasn't as it was good, but I was sluggish and tired. There was something going on, like there was, and now that I realize it was probably my body sort of adjusting and resetting back to its original needs and healing, to a point where as soon as 60 days, around the 65, 70 day mark, it was like something went off, and the weight scarily dropped. Like, I mean, I felt like I was, and I got scared, actually. I felt like I was dropping 2-3 pounds a day. Overnight, it was like, wow, what just happened? Like 20 pounds in 2 weeks kind of thing. It was just unbelievable to see what happened. And I was actually saying, geez, I thought something was wrong. I said, I can't keep losing weight at this rate. And I was eating a lot. I was eating a lot of red meat, butter, fats, all good, by the way, cooking in tallow, avoiding all seed oils, pretty much very strict carnivore. And to backtrack, I think once because I was eating at the beginning, when I first started carnivore, I was eating a lot of variety of meats. I was eating a lot of fish, salmon, tuna, chicken wings, all properly sourced. So I was eating a large variety of food, and I think in the last 2-3 months, I really only crave beef. So most of my 6 out of 7 days, I'm eating a combination of ground beef, along with 60 to 70 eggs a week. A lot of ribeyes, cooked in beef tallow, or on the barbecue, one of the two. And it's just all I really crave. It's incredible. It's my energy is through the roof. I actually just started working out. Oh, by the way, and all the weight loss was exercise free. I mean, I played tennis a couple of times a week. I would go on 10-minute walks, but fairly sedentary as far as exercise. But it came to a point where I have way too much energy. I'm eating all this protein. I decided to join the gym recently. So it's been 2 weeks, starting off slow because I don't want to start going crazy on the lifting and all that stuff. So I'm starting slow, doing a bit of weight training to bulk up a little bit. I feel fantastic. It's hard to keep to yourself because a lot, 99% of the reactions I get with Mathew, what the hell did you do? Are you okay? Are you sick? And when I tell them how I did it, which I should maybe start reconsidering, because it's just the explanations and all that, and the classic cholesterol things and heart attacks, and it's not met with anybody who says, "Oh, maybe I'll try it." You know, it's mostly like, "You're insane." So I sort of feel like carnivores are are the anti-vaxxers of nutrition. We're regarded as anti-establishment, and maybe it is. Maybe we are, and we're questioning how the recommendations, various governments' recommendations on what to eat, are make any sense when you have things like eggs and beef at the bottom of the pyramid, and you have Lucky Charms,
Yes, terrible.
Way higher on the acceptable foods list. So there's something wrong there. I'm fully convinced of this. I've never felt this way in my life. the moods, the sleep, there's nothing that has gotten worse on this diet. So
Brilliant.
yeah. So the only problem is I feel like it would work for any human. So it's very hard to keep it to myself. I would love to spread this type of, because it's not an easy thing to do. I mean, you got to try this. I recommend for at least 90 days so your body adjusts, because I really didn't feel that great.
It's okay. And
Yeah,
you know, one of the things you said there, which really surprises me, because I didn't see your before pictures until we started the interview, and I will have superimposed them onto this discussion. So people will be very surprised, because you look so much better. If your friends are thinking you're doing something wrong, I don't really understand that, because just looking at you now and looking at you then, surely it was then when they should have been worried about your health, because you look so much better. You're feeling outstanding. I mean, how much weight, I know we don't focus too much on weight and more about health,
yeah.
but obviously it's bothered you since you were a child. How much weight have you lost on carnivore?
Honestly, I stay away from the scale, but the last memory of my heaviest, probably around the same time as the picture I sent you, was around 228.
Wow.
228. And right now I'm at about 160, only because I had a checkup with my doctor, who wants to put me on statins, which is not happening. So I had to do the weigh-in, and I was at 168. So 28, 30, you do the math. But the funny thing about it is the weight is
80.
The last of the benefits of this way of eating. I just find it so much easier to not have to decide. It's all I want. I want beef. I want meat. That's all I want. And that's all my body craves. I don't care that, but what do you do at a restaurant? What do you do? I eat the steak because that's all I crave. It's not like I don't think I've had one meal where I've said steak again. Every steak is like ground beef with grass-fed sour cream. Like it's all I want to eat.
Yes. Brilliant.
Yeah.
It's not a surprise when you've lost 80 pounds, by the way. My sums were really bad. No, the 60 pounds. So
60,
yes.
Yeah, 80 something. Yeah.
Something. Yeah. Oh, my mental arithmetic's terrible.
58. We'll round it up to 170. And
yes. Yeah. Anyway, so you're eating how often? Once a day? Twice a day?
I eat when I'm hungry, but it's usually in the early afternoon where I start. Early on, I easily skipped lunch, but now I'm just, I don't need to follow the intermittent fasting. If I'm hungry when I wake up, I'll make some eggs. I'll eat a couple of pork rinds or whatever. I don't eat until 1 or 2 on average, and then I'll have dinner and not eat till 1 or 2 the next day with ease.
Cool.
But really, if I'm starving, I'll just keep eating. I'll just, I eat. My body tells me I eat a lot of raw cheeses. So my staples are raw cheese, beef. When I need to snack, I get these pork rinds imported from Ohio, because we don't have much on the way of properly cooked pork rinds. It's all in vegetable oil or soybean or all that crap. So
yeah, that's a thing to look out for, because I found that when I started carnivore, because all the Americans were saying about pork rinds, and I bought a bag and looked at ingredients and couldn't believe it. But we did eventually find some that are cleanly cooked. So
yeah, there are.
There's plenty of alternatives out there. And you mentioned people thinking you're a freak, don't want to hear. What about family? I mean, are family supportive now? They've seen the difference in you and how healthy you are.
They subscribe more to the. They know I'm not veering off from this way of life, and they see the improvements in all aspects of my life. So I think as long as I don't, force it on my kids or my wife, I think they're fine with it. I think being an example for when my children decide they want to explore their own nutrition journey. I think, dad eating steak all the time might be something they might consider, or, so I don't force them. I sometimes whisper in their ear when they're eating. I go, you don't have to eat the broccoli. But no, they eat very well balanced, and I think that's important to teach kids as well, to learn how to moderate better than I did. I was an all or nothing, so abstinence is a lot easier for me than moderating, because I have a severe carb addiction, which I came to realize over the years, and I just can't have a bag of chips and not have it again for 2 weeks, or have 5 chips like my wife can and put the bag down and maintain some sort of balance. I'm not balanced in anything in my life. I'm extreme. I guess that's why carnivore works tremendously for me. And yeah, it's been a lifesaver. I feel like from Atkins to keto to carnivore now, I feel like I've discovered the secret, and I finally got there, and I barring any unforeseen roadblocks, I don't think I'll ever do anything different.
That's fantastic. I mean, did you ever try things like calorie restriction and?
Oh yeah, everything. I mean, I was always trying to figure out a way, the easy way. I hated the gym. I don't like going to gyms. I actually am happier now, because you don't need, you still need a certain amount of physical activity, of cardio, but the days of running on the treadmill for an hour, are gone. I'm a lot happier doing the weights, which still, gets the heart rate up, but it's a little more fun knowing that I don't have to sit on the bike or the Stairmaster for an hour and a half. So I think it'll be more sustainable for me if I focus on weight training.
That's fabulous.
So,
I mean, yeah. when you booked me for a coaching session, you actually said you were frightened by how much you were losing, because many people would be listening to that and thinking, well, I wish that was me. But I'm glad you added that you also had 45 odd days where you didn't have it all happening, and the adaptation period was difficult for you. And that's one of the things I wanted to get you on for, because it does take you a little while to adapt, and some people it's quicker, some people it's longer. I mean, I think for you, I think you said about the 60th day, that's when the weight dropped, and you thought, wow, this is incredible. So thank you for sharing that story, because there are a few people that have booked me that they don't have that patience. They just don't believe it's going to happen, because they have so much healing going on, but they get fixated on the weight loss or the fat loss. So I think to hear your story is very inspirational, which is why after the coaching session, it's very rare for me after one coaching session to say to somebody, your story is amazing, can I interview you? So I really appreciate you doing this. And I'm still in shock from your before picture, because I only saw you as you are, you see. And I think it's very difficult for me to get a handle on your friends not thinking it's done you wonders. But anyway, enough of that. That's brilliant. Is there anything else you want to end the interview with? Any tips?
No, not at all. I hope this video helps anybody sort of mulling the carnivore diet over. And it's, I hate the word journey, but it's a journey of discovery as far as when you start, and you'll find your groove, and it's you got to stick to it. I do think this would be something that everybody should try, and give it a good amount of time before veering off, because it's been amazing. Yeah.
Mathew, that's brilliant. Thank you very much.
You got it.
Cool.
Take care.
Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to subscribe, like, and comment, as it really does help the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to subscribe.